when you're 3-0 up at half-time and you come out and score more goals in the second half.
Yeah, and there was no sitting back, there was no taking it easy, there was no resting of players. Liverpool were absolutely relentless. I thought Crystal Palace were awful in the second half, to be very honest. I don't know what Roy Hodgson said to them half-time or whether he punished them by sending them out early and into the second half, but they were terrible. But Liverpool were brilliant, absolutely brilliant today.
They scored with pretty much every shot on target today. They were ruthless.
They were ruthless, and some of the quality we see, we have great vantage point here. Some of the goals, like Glenn was saying in commentary, was outstanding. The movement, the passing. Macca's right, Crystal Palace did not turn up in the second half, you know, and I think there's some worrying signs for Roy. I think he was a bit, at the end, he didn't know what to think, you know, because his team were taken apart, but I think at times they were their own worst enemy. But some of the moves and some of the talent we saw from this Liverpool side, it's incredible.
And look, we stand here and we watch a lot of football. I mean, that was just out of this world. I mean, amazing. What does it mean for the chasing pack? How ominous is that message for them?
Well, I think it's fairly ominous, isn't it? Because everybody knows the problems Liverpool have had. Everybody knows at times they've been vulnerable defensively. To score 7, to put 6 points between them and the rest of the pack when they're only... Well, they've got 5 or 6 really good, outstanding players missing. We know that maybe some fringe players are missing, but we know the 2 centre defenders are missing, Thiago's missing. And the fact that they're still where they are now and scoring goals and looking strong, looking confident going into the busy Christmas periods, I think it's quite ominous for everybody else.
And look, we've seen teams on the receiving end of big defeats. Southampton springs to mind. It's all about a reaction, isn't it, from Roy and his players once they get Christmas out of the way?
It is, and Roy, looking around there, I think Gary Cahill hurt himself. You know, he's a massive player for Crystal Palace at the end. You know, that you've got to get them players and galvanise them for the Christmas period. Because what happens is over the Christmas period, there's so many games. If you have a defeat like that and you let it come into the next game, all of a sudden 4 or 5 games pass, you ain't got a win. You get sucked into the bottom, which is what Crystal Palace don't want. But from Liverpool's perspective, I think that was a marker down. You know, I think there's a pack and then there's Liverpool Football Club. I think they're just slightly ahead of everyone else. And I think to do that, with all the trouble they've had, injuries and that, shows great resilience and they've got just a strong squad. OK, let's get some instant reaction. Jordan Henderson is with Des Kelly. Des?
Jordan, you opened a gap at the top here, but it's a day where we saw the merciless aspect of this side. That was tremendous finishing out there today.
Yeah, I thought we're ruthless today. You know, we took our chances, which is always important. Dominated the game for large periods. Still thought we were a little bit sloppy at times. Yeah, but overall, I think I've got to say we're delighted with the performance, with the result, because we know how difficult it is to come here. They're a good team, make it difficult. So, yeah, to finish this week off with a win after midweek is important, and we managed to do that.
Every goal was quality. I mean, there were fantastic goals. In the first half, you had 3 shots on target, scored 3 goals. You don't get any more efficient than that.
Yeah, today we were. It was coming, I felt, because over the last few games we've had some chances and we haven't taken them, and it's cost us at times. But today we managed to finish our chances, which is always important in football.
Does it feel like the best performance by this side so far this season?
In certain ways, but we don't just look at the scoreline. I know it's a big scoreline, but we look at the overall performance. I thought midweek we were very good. And again, we're good today, so we've just got to keep the momentum going, keep focused, keep working hard, and yeah, keep going, because over Christmas it's a difficult period for everyone, so we just need to keep going and picking up the wins.
It's interesting you can use the word sloppy at times when you've won 7-0, but there were moments in the first half where Crystal Palace did get behind. Yeah,
and in the first half they had 1 or 2 half chances, a little bit on the counter-attack. I mean, they've got so good players counter-attack, so they're always going to create something in a game of 90 minutes. But I thought we limited that today very well, especially as the game wore on, and we managed the game well second half.
All those great goals, which one do you think was the best? The fourth, perhaps? Your first of the season?
Yeah, the fourth. No.
Definitely.
What was the best?
Hey, you've got to say that.
Like you said, all good finishes. More the last one, was it the last one?
Yeah,
was a fantastic finish, but yeah, all good finishes. But like I said, I thought it was coming, because over the last few weeks we haven't really been as ruthless in front of goal as what we would have liked.
Yeah, and that lovely goal as well to get you a few more votes for Sports Personality of the Year, perhaps. Yeah,
I'm not sure about that. Especially if you could probably hear us on the pitch. I'm not sure that'll do us any favours. But no, Overall, I thought performance level, result, so we've got to be happy. And now we've got a week leading to the next game, which is good for us. We can get some training in, and another tough test again.
Well done.